Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I am the creator behind Missouri Makes. Today we are going to learn a new stitch, and the new stitch we're going to learn today is make one left and make one right. And whenever you go to look into a knit pattern, you may come across a make one left or M1L or make one right, M1R. And so this tutorial is going to show you how to do it, and I've got a little trick to remember which one is which, because I had a hard time remembering, because it's done the same way. You just pick up the piece of the strand of yarn a little bit differently to complete the right and left, and so it confused me, and I figured out how to do it and not have to look it up every time I want to make one left or make one right. So the purpose of make one left is that you increase your stitch count with a left leaning increase, and same goes for make one right, except it'll lean towards the right. And if you look here on my piece, I have done a make one left and a make one right every other row. And this is what I've got. I've gotten a triangle. I started off with 5 stitches, and all I did was make one left and make one right every other row. And this is what I've gotten. It's a triangle. And so this is what will happen to your piece if you go to try and make a piece. This would probably be a good start for a triangle shawl. So let's go ahead and get started, and I will show you how to do this. So I just have some worsted weight yarn here, some scrap yarn, and a needle to match. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to knit up until it's time to increase. So you'll have to excuse my gnarly hands. I've cut myself and burned myself this week, so. So I'm going to knit all the way up into my marker. And now it's time to make one right. I want one that leans to the right. And so the way we do it is this bar right here that's in between the stitch you just worked and the stitch that is about to be worked. There's a bar here. You're going to pick it up and you're going to put it on your left hand needle. And the way it gets hard to complete this stitch, so I just take and loosen it up so that it's easy to complete. But you're going to knit it through the front loop, just like that, and you have completed a stitch. I'll take that out and do it again. So I'm going to pick it up and put it on my left hand needle, and I'm going to stretch it out a little bit so it's easier to work. And then I'm going to complete the stitch knitting it through the front loop, just like that. Now I'm going to slip my stitch marker, knit my center stitch, slip my stitch marker, and we're going to make a left leaning increase. And so I'm going to pick it up, and this time I'm going to take my left hand needle and insert it from the front to the back. And in order to complete this stitch, the way I do it to make it easier on me, you're supposed to insert your right hand needle through the back and complete like that. But the way I do it is I get it set up the way I want it, and then I place it over onto my right hand needle and insert my left hand needle in the front like that, which sets it up to be complete. And then I just knit. You're going to knit the left leaning one through the back loop, and you're going to knit the right leaning one through the front loop, and that is the difference between left and right. Let me go ahead and get this round complete, and I will come back and show you once more how to do it. Okay, so I am back to where I started with my increases, and I told you I'd figured out a trick to help me, for it to click in my brain what I am supposed to do. And so the first one we're going to do a make one right, which is our right leaning increase, or M1R. And the way I remember how to do it, or which way to do it, if I'm going to knit it in the back loop or the front loop, the way I remember is make one rights are always right in front. So I know that I'm going to do that one up front, like that. Whereas lefts are always left behind. Lefts are always left behind. So I know that I'm going to knit it through the back loop, like that. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me on which, if I'm going to do it, if I'm going to knit through the front loop or the back loop whenever I'm making the increase. And so make one right is right in front, make one left is left behind. And so that tells me I'm supposed to do it behind or in the back loop, and right is in the front loop because they're right up front. And so I hope that that was helpful. If there's something else that I can clarify on, you can always leave a comment in the comments section, and I will do my very best to go slower or to do whatever it is that you need to understand how to do the make one left and the make one right, or any other stitch. If you want to put in suggestions on what stitch I need to do next, go ahead and leave it down in the comments section, and I will put that on the list of things to do. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you another day.